think so.
Does anybody else need a mic? Travis, you need a mic, there's an extra one up here.
Derek knows turn it off, he wants to
Derek needs
share
one.
anything. Yeah.
Derek can share this mic.
You can have that public comments.
I think you're good today. You never know, I told you. Be prepared.
Don't forget your mic too.
It's on.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call our meeting to order and begin with the pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Almighty God, as we gather, we thank you for keeping everybody safe today, and we ask that you would bless us as we come into the approaching days, that you would keep everybody safe of all things so that might happen in the school system. We ask that you would bless the education, that you would bless all the people that are involved. And we ask you to bless us tonight so that we can be a benefit to all of them. Amen. No personnel hearing. So, and no public comment. Student and staff recognition.
Okay, so we'll start with the February. We'll start with Mr. Alex Adams, who is a junior at Pennell County Middle High School. He is the February Academic Student of the Month. He is the son of Brian Adams and Amanda Simmons of Franklin. He is a member of FFA, National Honor Society, and the golf team. He is on the All-A Honor Roll and has participated in Regional Math Field Day. He is a member of the United Methodist Church and the Franklin Mountaineers 4-H. Alex plans to get a bachelor's degree in engineering or agriculture. We are doing February and March today. February James Huffman Responsible Student of the Month is sophomore Alyssa Swain. She is the daughter of Lauren Swain of Circleville. Alyssa is a member of the volleyball team and choir. She is on the honor roll. She works at the Front Porch Restaurant and likes art and to sing and play the guitar. She is a member of her church youth group, and she plans to pursue a degree in psychology at WVU. The March Academic Student of the Month is junior Spencer Hartman from Franklin. Spencer is the son of Jay and Kim Hartman. He is a member of the football team and track team. He enjoys spending time with family, and he plans to go to college after high school. And the March James Huffman Responsible Student of the Month is senior Garrett Hartman. He is the son of Jeff and Julie Souza of Franklin. He has been a member of the football team for 4 years, wrestling for 2 years, and track and field for 2 years. He has lettered in both football and wrestling and has received a certificate in building and maintenance from the South Branch Photech Center. Garrett attends Living Faith Church and is on the A Honor Roll. He likes to play video games in his free time, and he plans to enter the workforce once he graduates high school. And under staff recognition, Terry, if you pull out, you'll recognize your own work. There's 2 pages here. I wanted to highlight the great amount of work that's been done through collaboration with Emmy Mullins. Carrie has created a tool that's the rate of improvement for data that we've looked at when we met last week in our leadership meeting. And I just think that it's phenomenal what that tool can do and the data that we were able to look at very, very closely. It really is a game changer. So I wanted to point that out and thank them for their hard work.
And nothing else under student and staff recognition.
No.
Thank you and congratulations to everybody recognized. And we have received minutes from the March 2nd and March 3rd board meetings, executive sessions. Do we have are there any corrections or objections, or do we have a motion to approve them as presented?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve them as presented. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approving the minutes from March 2nd and March 3rd, including executive session, as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. And that brings us down now to personnel.
Okay, RIFs and transfers, we have no RIFs. And transfers, the superintendent recommendation rescinded.
Okay.
It's Wilma.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. Rescind rifts and transfers, we have none. Resignations and retirements. Resignations, we have Richard Baker, middle school golf coach at Pendleton County Middle School. Sierra 9 Miller, before and after school reading and math tutor at Franklin Elementary School for the 26-27 school year. And Christine Lambert as communication coordinator.
And you have my recommendation to approve these resignations as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending approving the resignations as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of accepting the resignations for Richard Baker, Sierra 9 Miller, and Christine Lambert, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. Permission to post.
Permission to post, we would like to ask permission to post for a speech pathologist due to caseloads and the services that are needed right now in all of our schools for students.
You have my recommendation to approve the permission to post for a speech pathologist.
Our superintendent's recommending we grant permission to post for a speech pathologist. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? If there are none, and all in favor of granting permission to post for a speech pathologist, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes.
Okay, employment of personnel, we have Carrie Shea Dove for extracurricular assistant softball coach at Pendleton County Middle High School. Danielle Sisson, executive secretary coordinator at Pendleton County Board of Education office. Rebecca Miller, accountant 2, secretary 2 at Pendleton County Middle High School. Jeffrey Rhodes, long-term substitute elementary health and physical education teacher at Franklin Elementary. Julia Manowski, long-term substitute preschool special needs at North Fork Elementary School. Michael Wharf, math and physics teacher at Pendleton County Middle High School. Zachary Tennant, agriculture education teacher at Pendleton County Middle High School. And Lance Kimball as a substitute teacher.
And you have my recommendation to approve these employment of personnel as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending that we employ these personnel as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of the employment of Carrie Dove, Danielle Sisson, Rebecca Miller, Jeffrey Rhodes, Julie Manowski, Michael Wharf, Zachary Tennant, and Lance Kimball, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. They are approved.
Approval of contracts. Jonathan I., ending of extracurricular contract effective March 12th, 2026.
You have my recommendation to end the extracurricular contract effective 3/12/26 with Jonathan I.
Our superintendent's recommending the approval of ending this contract on March 12th of 26. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Then all in favor of ending Jonathan I.'s extracurricular contract on March the 12th of 26, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passes.
Okay, probationary professionals. I'm gonna recuse myself. We have Kaylee Bennett, Tanya Hedrick, Vivian Ely, James Waters, Ryan Latif, Caitlin Dunn, Robin Simmons, Tanner Carr, Lindsay Hauk, Lindsay Props, Bethany Wetzel, Wendy Cosmore, Elizabeth Rollins, Luke Cooper, Emily Hott, Leanne Ruddle, Leslie Cook, Shelby Thomas, and Aaliyah Wright.
You have my recommendation to approve probationary professional as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending that we approve these probationary professionals as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then, I'm not going to read all of the names. All in
Okay.
favor of approving all of these that were listed under probationary professional, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. They are approved.
Okay. For continuing professional contracts, we have Caitlin Gayton, Latasha Triplett, and Allie Judy.
You have my recommendation to approve the continuing professional contracts as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending that we approve the continuing professional contracts as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approval of these 3 continuing professional contracts, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Probationary service personnel.
For myself this time.
You have Sierra Brand, Ashley Johnson, Melina Parsons, David Simon, Candace Vance, Shannon Hartman, Charity Har, Hillary Fox, Kathy Moats, Karen Robertson, Monica Smith, Kayla Van Meter, Adam Ruddle, Danielle Sisson, Miranda Hess, Kaylee Murray, April Simmons, John Swecker, Desiree Wright Varner, and Charles Flesher.
You have my recommendation to approve the probationary service personnel contracts as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending approving these probationary service personnel contracts. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approving the probationary service personnel contracts as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes.
Okay, so continuing service personnel contracts, we have Kim Hartman, Rebecca Miller, Travis Huffman, and Wesley Judy.
You have my recommendation to approve the continuing service personnel contracts as presented.
Superintendent's recommending that we approve these continuing service personnel contracts. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? All in favor of approval of the continuing service personnel contracts as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Approval of non-paid coaches, we have Lance Kimball, Gary Smith for baseball, Brandon Mitchell for football, and Seth Bowers for football.
You have my recommendation to approve the non-paid coaches as presented.
Our superintendent's recommending approval of the non-paid coaches. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions?
Do these all have to take that class and be certified?
They have everything.
All 4 of them
Yep.
have everything? Great.
And is Lance helping with a certain sport? or-
Football.
Okay,
I'll be helping with football.
Great.
yeah.
Any additional questions or comments? Then all in favor of approval of the non-paid coaches as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. And we won't make you read the list of volunteers and chaperones because that's pretty extensive.
And you have my recommendation to approve the volunteers and chaperones and drivers as presented.
We have our superintendent's recommendation to approve the volunteers and chaperones and drivers as presented. Do we have a motion?
So
So-
moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approving the list of volunteers, chaperones, and drivers as listed, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. And nothing under leaves of absence. So that finishes us up for personnel. Thank you very much, and brings us down to finance.
And you have me for finance. So this will be interesting.
Okay.
Okay, so the first is the request for the audit bid. And I'm going to read exactly what JP has provided because he knows what I need to say. So 7A on this, which is not listed, but 7A states that per West Virginia code, a Board of Education may go out to bid for audit services for up to 3 years. With the current contract expiring, this is a request to go out to bid with an RFP, which is a request for proposal, for up to 3 years. 7B, along with 7A above, an audit committee will meet to review the bid proposals received above and will determine the winner of the RFP submission, which is that request for proposal. A request is made to appoint my JP, President Wilkins, and a representative from Pendleton Community Bank to comprise this committee. And that's similar to prior committees. So he has 2 requests there, so we'll have to break those up into for permission. So the first would be permission to approve to go out to bid.
So we have and you recommend.
And you have my recommendation to do that, yes.
Our superintendent is recommending that we go out to bid for the audit committee for the next 3 years. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of authorizing Pendleton County School System to go out for bid for audit for the next 3 years, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes.
All right, and the second part was his request for the committee, which was JP, President Wilkins, and a representative from Pendleton Community Bank. And you do have my recommendation that this recommendation is approved from JP to create this committee.
Our superintendent's recommending that we approve the creation of a financial audit committee consisting of JP and myself and somebody from Pendleton Community Bank. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of appointing an audit committee consisting of JP, myself, and somebody from Pendleton Community Bank, please signify by saying aye.
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 And opposed, no. Motion passes.
Okay, so now the treasurer's report. All right, so JP says expenditures exceed revenues by about 450,000, but that is expected in these winter months, as we have discussed in the past. And he said we are still ahead of last year's cash balance, and he had told me when I called him that it was approximately a couple thousand from last year. So we're about the same as last year's time frame. And you do have my recommendation to approve the treasurer's report for February.
Superintendent's recommending approving the February treasurer's report. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approving the treasurer's report with an ending balance of $2,496,016.82, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. The treasurer's report is approved.
Levy rates. JP states that valuations are up slightly from the current year, but have been verified with the state and assessor's office. Rates are set by state code, and the Board of Education has no control over the regular tax rates. There is only a very slight increase in County Board of Education tax revenues to $3.898 million, as the BOE only keeps about 15% of the local revenue, and the increase in taxes for the BOE is minimal. For the fiscal year 27, the 15% that the Board of Education keeps will be approximately $584,700. This, along with being underemployed as to what we are allowed, a separate conversation, he says, is how we pay for expenses not covered by the funding formula. This meeting will stand adjourned until the third Tuesday in April, when these rates will be finalized. So, for this purpose, for the levy rates.
So we need to go ahead and approve the levy
Yes.
rates today, and then we'll come back on that third Tuesday. And
Correct. So you do have my recommendation to approve the levy rates.
our superintendent's recommending that we approve the proposed levy rates as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Then all in favor of approving the levy rates as presented, as set by the state, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion passes. They are approved.
Alright, so for items E, F, and G, JP states that there's no budget revisions and the budget has been passed by the state, but no updated numbers for us to work on. Hopefully the state will incorporate the 3% pay raises and we can proceed with the budget discussions in April and May. Good news is no real surprises and no additional decrease in funding other than what we've already talked about. We will be funded at around 1,382 enrollment for next year, which is a decrease from the 1,400 and amounts to about $150,000. And we have discussed these concerns before. And that is the end of finance.
Any questions under finance? We're not gonna put any pressure on you to answer any questions.
We're calling JP.
We'll have a facilities update now.
I don't have anything to really update you on, but if you have any questions, I'll try to answer.
Any questions under facilities? Okay, and there's nothing.
There is
I'm
one thing
sorry.
for finance, just for facilities, we are working towards submitting the MIP by April 3rd deadline. So that will be before the next board meeting, we will have to have that submitted, so.
I guess I do have one, but Travis, with all the ice and snow and stuff, do you have any leaks of any note anywhere?
We did have some leaks at different places. We had one at Franklin Elementary where we did find where we had a small cut in the membrane and we patched that. And the biggest thing we ran into was with all that ice that was built up there, when it tried to melt, everything had frozen in all the ways it's supposed to get off the roof. And so we did have to channel. I had to climb out on the high school roof once or twice because in the guidance counselor office, it would go out to the downspout, but the downspout was clogged. So we had to break the ice up at the downspout to get it to flow, and then it would quit leaking in her office. And Franklin Elementary was the other place where we had one leak. We had a leak or two here over in the daycare side. But other than that, I think that's the major
What we
ones.
have with that ice, that's probably,
Yeah, yeah, and that,
to be expected.
like I said, the very flat roof at Franklin Elementary, it's just bound to leak. And I mean, it's just, it's got to go somewhere.
How about the can building? Is it holding up, the roof holding up well there?
Yeah, of course, I've been in there a few times. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary in there.
Good.
Now, I never heard anything from the folks with the food, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else under facilities?
Oh, I did have one. Travis, is there any update on like the shrubbery and stuff at Brantywine that we
Yeah,
talked about?
so the first person that I tried to work with to get that shrubbery out, him and I never could make contact with each other. So I moved on to someone else, and I think it's gonna happen. We're gonna wait till weekend, and we're gonna wait until the ground hardens up a little bit, so as they go through there, it does not make ruts, and we try to leave as least amount of stuff destroyed as we possibly can. But we're gonna take it all out. I've talked to Ryan.
Yeah.
Everything's coming out around the building, all the way around. The little triangular section there, as it goes out on the playground, there's like a vine that grows out through there. They want it out too. So it's all coming down.
Okay.
And there's a big limb that hangs out over top of the swing set. That was one of the things that the Brim people, last time they were here, wanted us to cut it down, and they're gonna do that as well when they're over there.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're getting closer to hopefully get that out this spring, and then I asked Ryan to work with his staff to try to put something back in, or put something there in replace of the shrubbery. They may just go with some stone or something like that, and not worry about bushes or something like that. But you know, we put those in like 2008, so they've been there for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So they've done well. But the drought that one summer knocked a bunch of them down by the classrooms out. But so yeah, that's kind of where we are, and I'm pretty sure this spring we'll get them out of there.
Okay.
Nicole, I have a question for you about those rocks over to protect our music
Yes.
room over there. I should be able to get the stone. Greer's already said they would give me the stone and maybe get the hauling. What if I cannot get anybody to volunteer to unload them and set them? Would that be something we'd be willing to pay to have done?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, all right, I'll pursue that and I can bring it up next meeting, but yeah, I'd like to get that done before we have a chance of that happening ever again.
A good idea. That'd be great.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anything else under facilities? Then let's say we're done with facilities and there's nothing under old business, and then under new business, we have contracted services.
So we are asking for approval for contracted services with Megan Hoover, who is an orientation and mobility teacher. Whenever we had our Saturday session, I had talked about we were getting ready to have an evaluation for orientation and mobility, and this is very new to us. But we do have a student who's visually impaired in the county. And orientation and mobility is a service that allows this teacher to work with the student in navigating their environment. So you can imagine if you have a visual impairment, navigating new situations or things like stairs can be really difficult. So from the eligibility meeting, the eligibility team determined that these services are needed, and so this individual would come once a month and provide those services, or however
As
long the
necessary.
team determined she would need to come.
You have my recommendation to approve the contracted services of Megan Hoover for orientation and mobility.
Our superintendent's recommending that we approve these contracted services. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions?
Where's she out of?
She is coming out of the Eastern Panhandle, Morgan County, perhaps.
I didn't see that anywhere, but yeah, I saw her travel pay. I was just curious how far away she was.
The individual who was able to come and do the evaluation, I believe, was from WVU, and she was not able to provide those services, so this was another recommendation to us that was a little bit closer.
Okay, thank you.
So it's not the Megan Hoover local?
It is not the local Megan Hoover, correct?
Okay, I thought it was her.
I did
And
too.
this is not through Epic? Epic didn't have?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any additional questions or comments? Then all in favor of approving the contracted services with Megan Hoover for orientation and mobility, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. So that finishes us up under new business, and we go back to other and the chronic absence report.
Okay. So, we had day 120, it's been a couple of weeks ago at this point. At the last board meeting, I think it was maybe the day before, was day 120 for the school year. So this is just a little bit of an update for where we stand with chronic absenteeism rates. For day 120, Brandywine Elementary was at 10.34, Franklin Elementary at 7.79, North Fork Elementary at 6.06, the middle high school at 15.68, and then the county as a whole at 11.46. So this was also after that large sickness went through. So I think I had said earlier in the year, you know, things were looking pretty good, and whenever you're doing well earlier, you can have a couple of bumps in the road with sicknesses and those types of things without declining too much. So everyone's doing a really great job. This one shows across the last couple of years. So green means that they have improved from this time last year. Red means that they've declined a little bit. You can see across the board, everyone had improved except for Brandywine, and theirs has just been a little bit rocky. And even where they are, I mean, they're still almost at the meets expectations for the balanced score. You know, if we had the balanced scorecard for day 120, they would be right there. So I can't complain about 10.3.
Carry on those numbers. I mean, those are great from 23. You know, what a decline. I mean, what a great job.
Absolutely.
What do you attribute that to? Is that some of the CIS work or what?
I think CIS plays a large role in it. I think awareness and talking with parents plays a large role in it. You know, attendance has become a priority statewide. Superintendent Blatt decided last year, I believe it was, to work with this initiative that several other states in the country were working for in reducing chronic absence rates by 50% over the next 5 years. And you know, it's just CIS does have an attendance goal. That's they're required, one of their goals to be attendance, and so that helps a lot. Our schools, our administrators are doing a phenomenal job. Our teachers just calling and promoting positive attendance. So, it's a collaborative effort.
Well, that's something to be very proud of, our numbers
Absolutely.
from 23 to now. Gracious.
It's wonderful to see.
Yeah.
Not all counties can say this about their
Next time we're in
data.
Charles, and be sure and we'll let them know how well we're doing.
So this is average daily attendance. So chronic absence rates are whenever you miss 10% or more of the school year. So for day 120, that would mean that they've missed 12 days or more. Average daily attendance rates, these are just looking at your attendance day to day. So historically, we spent a lot of time just looking at average daily attendance until, we were looking at some more studies that showed that chronic absenteeism is probably more important because we want kids in the building. So still great numbers to look at. We would like to be at 95% or higher. So you can see Brandywine there is 94.43. Franklin and North Fork have both hit that 95 threshold for most of the year. The middle high school 93.5, and then the county as a whole 94.34. So we're not quite as a county at that 95%, but compared to last year, which I just happen to have, we're still seeing growth. So again, red is below 90. No. Red is a decline from last year. Green is improvement from last year. So whenever you compare those two schools that are lower than they were at day 120 last year, it's not lower by much. And I'm still very pleased with our attendance so far this year.
There you go.
Any questions about attendance or the chronic absence reports? Thank you. Great work by everybody, the team effort.
Yes.
Work session follow-up report.
Okay, so the first item that I have is data from the third benchmark, and this shows overall the district, and then it also shows by school. And just remember that this is for grades 3 through 8, and I'm very, very pleased, as I had mentioned the last time. In all areas, we are 50% or higher, so that's excellent. Mostly, I see one that's not, but for the most part. So you can see again, just like with the attendance, you're seeing a lot of dedication from administration and the teachers and hard work from the students. So this was a little bit of data that we looked at. The second page is the agenda from the work session that we had for our administrative leadership meeting last week. We spent the first part of the morning looking at and just paying attention to social emotional well-being. I felt that it was an excellent exchange of social emotional interventions, concerns, and just a great time to share. Some new I wouldn't say new, but more trending concerns were discussed, and that was good to have that collaboration and to start talking about what we could be doing about that. The principals brought excellent examples of the various interventions and the tools that they're using to log and keep up with all of that data, so that was really good. And when we broke up into our small groups by school, we really looked very deeply into data, and that's that rate of improvement again. That one sheet that I showed you had so many items, and of course I can't show you a spreadsheet because that has specific data per student. But that's what we were able to do in those small groups, is to look at academic data and to look at behavioral data, teacher data, attendance data, and that rate of improvement. We probably could spend a full day doing that for the two bigger schools, so it was a little bit pushed. It was just a great opportunity to make sure that we have eyes on the students that need eyes and that we're kind of tracking, and just to give support to the principals so they don't feel like they're on their own. The attendance questions that I have on the next page, this was something that Christy came up with, the questions that will help the teams. Every school has an attendance team, and our group, I know we did not get to these questions, but okay, so the larger schools probably did not, and it was just, but it's a great tool that they can take back to their attendance team and look at the data that was provided to them. So, I mean, for Franklin Elementary, they left with a pretty good stack, because what we did is collectively gathered the data for them so that their time wasn't spent making copies and organizing papers, but just looking at data. So I felt like that was a very, very productive day, and we'll be doing more of that next year.
Any questions?
I also have the special ed ratios, if that's okay, from the last
okay.
one.
Okay.
So at the last board meeting, I was sick and
Right.
wasn't able to be here, but, from our follow-up from our Saturday session, I broke down ratios for special education across the county. So this is just, some information for you all broken down. You can see we have 141 students with IEPs in the county with disabilities. This does not include gifted, because giftedness is not a disability and it's an exceptionality. So 18 special ed teachers, 9 special education aides. With our overall ratios for special ed teachers, it's 6.3 to 1, and including aides, it's 4 to 1, which is a phenomenal ratio to have. You can see if we look at speech, I had explained at that Saturday session, speech can have speech as speech only IEP, where they're only being served by speech, or they could have an IEP where it's for something maybe like a learning disability, but they also have speech as a related service. But aside from that, there's also intervention for students who don't have IEPs to try to, work through the deficits that they have before they may need an IEP. So if we're looking at speech IEPs and intervention, it's a ratio of 57 to 1, and boy, is that challenging. I don't know how they are doing it. They are miracle workers. I will always and forever believe that speech pathologists are miracle workers. But this is the rationale for asking for permission for additional speech support this evening.
Because this seems to be something that is increasing, isn't it?
Yes. Whenever I've been tracking our eligibility numbers the last couple of years, and speech accounts for about 50% of our new IEPs. Whenever we're looking at our little guys, we're seeing more and more speech concerns. If they come to us even as 3-year-olds, we're almost always qualifying under speech. So it's very prevalent, and it's across the state, probably across the country. It's definitely across the state that we're seeing speech concerns.
I wonder how much that goes with what they hear or what they see on screens and stuff when it goes to forming speech.
My theory that is not research based at this point is, that kids and parents alike spend a lot of time on screens. There is, not as much communication back and forth. Either kiddos have screens or parents are also, and myself included, but there's less and less conversation back and forth than even 10 years ago.
There's a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hear correct conversation or talk and stuff. They don't use it.
Right.
And I had spring break. I had 2 of my grandsons come from college, and I get so mad. They're on their phone at the table. They're on that phone, sitting watching TV, and they don't talk. They don't.
Yep. Yeah.
And everybody texts, nobody calls anymore.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
If somebody calls me, I watch it ring.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And that's probably
like,
why
I
our
don't
reading.
know.
That's probably why our reading scores are good. They read just text.
Yeah.
stuff.
Way to put a silver lining to it.
I like that.
Any questions here?
I was just gonna say, it's not totally all the kids' fault. It's probably the parents too, because they don't hear their children talking to them most of the time, because they're too.
That's true too.
It's a
engrossed in the
cultural
texting.
thing,
It is,
and
and
it's not just us. It's not unique to us.
No, it's.
But it does make a huge difference in a lot of these kids' lives if they are transformed by this.
Absolutely. So we are seeing more and more kids who have speech concerns, that that can impact reading abilities later on, because if you're not hearing and speaking things correctly, then that has a direct correlation whenever you're trying to spell and learn to read. So early intervention is so important to be able to work through those deficits and get them to where they need to be.
I think there has to be an increased understanding of the issues than there were even 20 years ago. So I feel like technology has made things worse, but it's also increased where they can help more.
Absolutely.
So
I think more and more schools, including our own, because Dr. Lambert you have a no tech day, right?
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesdays, no tech Tuesday, and we're seeing more and more, I see that more and more in the news, and I think that would be very good for elementary schools. I think Highland also has a no tech day, so no technology, so I think educators especially are seeing the effects of it and trying to get students away from the screens and back to paper and pencil. So.
Thank you. Very good discussion. Anything else before we move on?
As a parent, I can say I would prefer paper to screen, especially with my young kids.
Yeah.
I would prefer it. That's how I was taught. And the more I see him use paper, the better he is.
Exactly.
Okay. So we'll move on now to school improvement student achievement.
Okay, so first is our 2026-2027 calendar has been reviewed and approved. So we have that information, that letter. And that's in the superintendent's
Superintendent's
update.
Update? Okay, thank you.
No problem. So there you go. So Ms. Michelle Blatt approved our calendar for next school year. So our first day of school will be for staff will be August 17th, which compared to this year's August 12th seems really late. So we'll see how that goes. The second item is the approval of our waiver, which is great news. And so today was our very last day that we had for accrued time. We requested 5 days, received 5 days, so that gave us 1 day left of accrued time, and we've used that today. So we do still have a full spring break, as long as we can stay in school between now and spring break. So, and I can guarantee you that Christy nor I were very happy last night. We got onto the weather briefing, and we hear this voice asking about Pendleton County, and Johnny says, "She doesn't sound very happy." And that's all for my updates.
Okay, and there's nothing under school improvement student achievement?
You know what somebody said? It's called the 2 C's, caps and chains.
Yes.
This person told me, send them the 2 C's, caps and chains.
Yes.
Okay, nothing under superintendent's update, nothing else under, any questions for the superintendent before I move on?
I had a student achievement really quickly.
Oh, yes, please.
We had Roscoe Panel, who won first place at the state science fair.
I saw that, yeah.
We had that on our Facebook, but he was the first place winner in his category.
And I spoke to Nicole, I think she's gonna try to set up,
Is he
because I think he came last year
Present it,
and
he
showed
came last
Yeah.
year.
his project. Yeah.
Spoke to Travis this morning, he said he tried to get him.
I'll get him to come in, and then we also have several students going to the Regional Social Studies Fair. I think it's coming up this weekend too, so there's a couple other events going on.
Yeah, young man's very entertaining with his presentation. I can see how he wins.
He was
Very
nervous
polished.
down there though, that surprised me. They said he was nervous, I can't see
Really?
him being
That's
nervous.
hard to believe.
I know, I couldn't hardly believe that, but
Okay.
Anything else there?
it's to be expected.
So let's move to conference and meeting update then.
Okay, tomorrow morning, JD and I will both be in Petersburg, I believe we both will be, for the South Branch Technical Meeting. And then on the 24th, we have a central office meeting, and that will be the remainder of our meetings until our next board meeting.
And our next board meeting is on April the 7th of 2026, and that will be here at this office. And instead of a motion to adjourn, I will accept a motion to adjourn and reconvene on Tuesday, April the 21st, 2026.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And all in favor of adjourning this meeting and reconvening on Tuesday, April 21st, please signify by saying aye.
Uh-huh.
And opposed, no. The motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank